Yes lads, how you all doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today I'll be discussing Ollie Watkins' possible move to Leicester City this summer transfer window. So then, with the transfer rumours continuing to come in thick and fast at Leicester City this summer, the latest player to be linked with a move to the King Power Stadium is Brentford striker Ollie Watkins. With Brentford not making the Premier League this season after they lost their playoff final 2-1 to Fulham a few weeks ago at Wembley, a large number of the first team squad at Brentford are looking to possible moves to the Premier League for the upcoming season, one of them being their striker Ollie Watkins. A number of different Premier League clubs are interested in signing the Brentford striker this summer, including Aston Villa, Sheffield United, Brighton, West Ham and Leicester City. However, over the past couple of days, it's been heavily reported that Leicester are now the favourites to sign Ollie Watkins this summer. So with that being said, today I'll be discussing Ollie Watkins' possible move to Leicester City this summer transfer window. Who exactly is he? What type of player is he? How do he actually fit into the Leicester City side going into next season? What type of deal would Leicester go with? And overall, would I like to see Ollie Watkins join Leicester City this summer? But just before we get into it, make sure a big thumbs up down below on today's video if you guys enjoyed today's video as I discuss Ollie Watkins' possible move to Leicester this summer. If you guys want to see some more transfer videos as well on the channel just like this, let me know by just smashing that like down below on today's video. Can we get 50 likes on today's transfer video? If so, that would be absolutely incredible. Also, while you're down there, make sure you do subscribe to the channel to see my face on your screen before. We are on the road to 1,300 subscribers and we are aiming to hit that by the end of August. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, turn that subscribe button grey because we do not want to see any red around here, do we? Because there's just no red here. Also, there's still a large percentage of you guys who are not subscribed to the channel. Over 60%. What the hell are you doing? Go down below, subscribe to the channel, turn that subscribe button grey because it just does look better grey. It's completely free and it would help the channel out massively. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for much more content, Leicester and Premier League content just like this. Also, turn on my notifications so you never miss any future videos on the channel just like this one. Follow all my social medias, they're way down there. Links to them will be in the description down below. And most importantly, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on Ollie Watkins and the video. Just let me know in the comment section down below. But let's cut the waffling and let's get into Ollie Watkins' possible move to Leicester City this summer. On to the first point then, who exactly is Ollie Watkins? So Ollie Watkins is a 24-year-old striker currently playing his football at Brentford. He started his career off at Leicester City, then he had a one-year loan spell in the 2013-14 season to Western-super-Med, and he arrived at Brentford in the season of 2017. This season for Brentford, he played a total of 50 games for the club, getting 29 goals and 3 assists, which is a very, very good total for a 24-year-old. He came second in the Championship Golden Boot race behind Fulham's Alexander Mitchell. In his time at Brentford, he played 132 games for the club, getting 45 goals, so we can definitely see the progression from Ollie Watkins. He scored almost half his goals in his entire career at Brentford alone this season. He's a 5'11" striker, but also very, very pacey. He's a goal machine just like we've seen from Brentford this season, and he looks to be a hot prospect going forward in English football. With Watkins getting 29 goals this season, I think it is the right time, in my opinion, for Watkins to make the step up from the Championship to the Premier League. And could Leicester City under Brendan Rodgers be the perfect club for Ollie Watkins? Moving on into point number 2 then, what type of player is Ollie Watkins? What's his style of playing? What type of position does he like to operate in? So Watkins is predominantly a striker. Of course, he got 29 goals this season, so it's fair to say he's an absolute goal machine. He's also fairly versatile as well. He can play in either the wing spots and also can play behind the striker in the cam role. So he is a very, very versatile player as well. He's also 5'11", meaning that Ollie Watkins does possess an aerial threat. However, he's also very, very fast as well. He likes to spin in behind, similar to the style of Jamie Vardy, and scores a lot of goals through that as well. So overall, he's a very, very good striker going forward. He has both qualities needed in the striker, the heading ability and the pace going in behind. Watching his highlights, he's a very, very clinical finisher, and there's no surprise he's got 29 goals this season for Brentford, which is a brilliant total for the 24-year-old to say the least. The Championship is a very, very hard division to play in, and to score 29 goals this season is a very, very good total for only the 24-year-old. He would definitely fit the Premier League as well, just with his height alone. He's got the physicality just to deal with the Premier League and the pacing behind as well. In my opinion, he'll be a lethal striker in the Premier League for whatever club he goes to. I think he'll suit the Premier League down to earth. He's got the height, he's got the ability to get in behind as well. He's got everything you could want in a striker. He's probably better than Jamie Vardy stats-wise. Obviously, he's not going to be better than Jamie Vardy, but on paper, he's got the height, he's got the pace. Obviously, he's not as fast as Jamie Vardy, but he's got that similar style. I think he will fit the Leicester model as well. In my opinion, Ollie Watkins would be a brilliant signing for Leicester City, and he could possibly be the replacement for Jamie Vardy going forward. So then, on to point number 3. How would Ollie Watkins actually fit into the Leicester squad if he did join Leicester City this summer? So, with an ageing Jamie Vardy up front being 33 years old, it's time for Leicester to look into the future and a possible replacement for Jamie Vardy. Or with Kelechi Iheanacho linked with a move away from the club, possibly to Fenerbahce. A striker, in my opinion, is definitely needed in this window. In my opinion, Ollie Watkins is the perfect man. However, in his first season at Leicester, if he did join the club this summer, I think it'd be very unlikely for Ollie Watkins to start regular Premier League football with the likes of Jamie Vardy and Kelechi Iheanacho if they remain in the side. Obviously, Jamie Vardy's only probably got a few more years left at max, being 33 years old. And like I said, we need to look forward. We need to start thinking of players to replace Jamie Vardy. In my opinion, Ollie Watkins completely suits the model at Leicester City. He would rarely get a start in his first season in the Premier League. However, with Leicester in the European football next season, in the Europa League and the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, there's going to be a lot of games for Leicester going forward next season, and Jamie Vardy at the age of 33 is not going to be able to manage all of them. With the youngster Ollie Watkins at the age of 24, he's still going to get a lot of game time. I think that's the best way to introduce him. He can get used to the Premier League, can get used to the squad, and in a few years' time when Jamie Vardy's basically done, Ollie Watkins will be completely ready and to come into that striker spot at Leicester. This is definitely a transfer for the future, and I think allowing Watkins to slowly get involved into the Premier League would also help Leicester and Watkins as a player himself. Yes, he may not get the game time if he wants, but he may have to do that to get the chance to be the main striker at Leicester in a few years' time. And in a few years' time, I can really see Ollie Watkins stepping straight into that striker role in place of Jamie Vardy and can potentially be Leicester's new number 9 for the next 5 years or so. With players like James Maddison in the squad, you can easily play Ollie Watkins in behind, and if you keep hold of Marco Brighton, he can finally use his crosses because Ollie Watkins is actually a tall striker. So if you keep hold of 10,000 crosses, Marco Brighton, he may actually be able to use those crosses with Ollie Watkins up front. Also, if Kelechi Iheanacho makes a move away from the club, Ollie Watkins will still get quite a lot of game time, will get introduced off the bench in a large number of the Premier League games. And if Jamie Vardy gets injured, which is highly likely at the age of 33, we saw him get injured this season, Ollie Watkins could still be the main man and still get a lot of game time. So it's definitely a bit of a risk bringing him in from the Championship, but we saw with James Maddison, who came from the Championship, how good he adapted to the Premier League, and I believe Ollie Watkins could do the same. We need to look forward into the future now at the club. We need to have more ambition going forward, and bringing in a striker like Ollie Watkins will be massive for the future, and I believe he could be Leicester's new number 9 when Jamie Vardy is done at Leicester City. On to point number 4 then, what type of deal would Leicester go with? Of course, here we're talking about either a loan or a buy. And if it is a buy, what type of fee would Leicester need to play to bring Ollie Watkins to the King Power Stadium this summer? In my opinion, it will be a transfer. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth doing a loan for Ollie Watkins at all. I think a loan just wouldn't be good for Leicester or Ollie Watkins as a player himself, and I think it could be a type of a loan. Obviously, like I said, he's not going to get as much game time. He can be slowly introduced into the Leicester squad and get used to the Premier League football. So I think a transfer would be a very good thing for Ollie Watkins. Talking about the transfer fee then, it's been heavily reported from John Percy that he actually has an £18 million release clause, which would be an absolute steal in my opinion. However, I don't think it's true, to be perfectly honest, because if he did have that release clause, a lot of Premier League clubs would have already activated that and probably bring him to their club already. So to be honest, I can't see that being true. So realistically, I think we're going to have to pay a lot more for Ollie Watkins, and it's probably going to be between 30 to 40 million in my opinion. He's an English talent, he's young, he's got definite ability, he's got 29 goals this season, so you're going to have to pay a premium for him. However, I do think it's going to be fully worth it. Ollie Watkins bringing him out at 24 will be a massive signing for Leicester in my opinion. I think it'd be fully worth the money. Yes, it's a big risk signing a Championship player for maybe 30 million, but with James Maddison, he came in for about 20 to 25 million. We saw how he came, so hopefully Watkins can do the same. Like I said, I think he's fully ready for the Premier League. He's got the physical sense, he's got the pace in behind, and we can definitely see that he's ready for the Premier League in my opinion. He's at the age where he needs to make the step up in his career, and I think this year is the right, and Leicester City is the perfect club for Ollie Watkins. With a number of different Premier League clubs interested, it's going to be very hard to sign Ollie Watkins. I can see a lot of Premier League clubs just putting offers in, and it may turn into a slight war with the bidding. So hopefully Leicester, with European football this season, good owners, a lot of money in the club, £100 million training ground. Hopefully we should have enough money to sign Ollie Watkins and beat teams like Aston Villa, Sheffield United to him. With all these different Premier League clubs interested in Ollie Watkins, if Leicester did go out and buy Ollie Watkins this season, it would make a massive statement to the rest of the league in my opinion. If you can beat teams like Sheffield United, Brighton, Aston Villa to him, it would be a massive statement from Leicester, and it'd be a huge signing. Obviously it would benefit us and not benefit any other Premier League team. So, moving on to the final point, point number 5. Would I like to see Ollie Watkins join Leicester City this summer? Simple answer, yes. Every single day of the week, thank you very much. Top, if you're watching this, go and do the business. Go and sign Ollie Watkins from Griffin Park. Ollie Watkins, if you're watching this, just come to Leicester, mate, because trust me, you will do bits at Leicester. You'll get European football. You're going to be involved in the Premier League. You're going to be in the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, going far in each competition. You've got a great squad around you. Young English talent. Surely he's going to know some of the players as well, like Maddison, Barnes, Chilwell if he stays. So it would be the perfect fit in my opinion. And Ollie Watkins, mate, just come to Leicester, mate, because trust me, I kind of want it to come. So yeah, in my opinion, it would be a cracking sign if we can bring Ollie Watkins to the King Power Stadium. It's going to be difficult, but as Leicester, as a European team now, we should be easy signing them over the teams like Brighton and Aston Villa. So in my opinion, Ollie Watkins would have been absolutely brilliant signing for Leicester City. So the boys and girls, that is it for today's video. In today's video, we discussed Ollie Watkins' possible move to Leicester City this summer. Let me know your thoughts on Ollie Watkins in the comment section down below. But if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on all my social medias, they'll be down there. Links to them will be in the description down below. Yeah, but that is it for today's video. I've been SPORTSA, and I'll see you guys very, very soon in my next video. Peace, guys.